Housekiss, welcome to today's Big Brother 19 train wreck. Okay, so our Housekiss of the day is Michelle Campbell, and she wants to know if I was on Big Brother 20 and I could pick any players, present or past, to be in my alliance, who would I choose and why? That's a great question. I feel like I could go really in depth with this. I feel like I could talk about this for like an hour, but I'll just keep it really simple and short and say I would pick really big targets. That would be targets in front of me. Definitely like probably muscly types that would be good in competitions and be able to win stuff for me, because I think I would be more of like a strategic player and like the brains of the operation. You know what I mean? So I would want to keep those big targets in my alliance. Yay for Meat Shields! Thank you so much for your question. Leave it in the comments. Who would you guys want to align with? And if you want to be Housekiss of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. All right, here we go. Okay, so it's been a little bit boring recently, but today was a freaking shit show. Okay, cluster F, whatever you want to call it. Let's talk about yesterday first real quick. So they had the have-not reveal, and the have-nots are the first two people who were out of the Wiener HOH competition. So that would be Kevin and Matt. And the have-not temptation key is up for grabs, but neither of them seemed interested, so whatevs. Alright, then there was some freaking drama over nothing. We're gonna call it Slippergate. Apparently Josh has been letting Kevin wear his HOH slippers from when he won that crapshoot HOH, and Josh wants new ones, and Big Brother told him, you have to turn in the old ones first, and then we'll give you new ones. So Josh, Paul, Alex, and Christmas were all talking crap about Kevin in the kitchen while Kevin was walking the yard with Jason, and they want to make this a bigger deal than it really is to freak Kevin out. And Josh is like, I'm going to give my slippers back, blah, blah, blah. And then Kevin walks in, bless you, and Paul's just like, hey, why is Josh freaking out? And Kevin's like, Josh, you can take the slippers. It's fine. They're always at the end of the bed, whatever. So it's like not a big deal, but this is just the beginning of what's going to happen. So then Kevin and Paul were talking alone in the kitchen, and Kevin is like, you know, what's going on? Have you heard anything? Jason told me that he's not changing the nominations. So he's asking Paul, has anybody else been saying his name besides Raven? And Paul's like, no. Except for Paul and the rest of the house. Remember, Paul was trying to get rid of Kevin this week. Crazy. But then Jason, Alex, Paul, and Josh were in the kitchen. They're laughing their asses off about how they're making Kevin so paranoid and they want to keep messing with him. They think it's hilarious. And Paul's telling Jason, when you don't use the veto, you should blame it on Kevin, because Raven is probably going to be pissed and freak out. So you may as well redirect that towards Kevin. You know, let Kevin feel the heat for this. What? How could you blame that on Kevin? So he's saying, oh yeah, just say that Kevin told you that Matt said that he was targeting you. Really? But you know what? This season, the cast is like dumb enough that that would actually work. And Kevin will be blamed for this veto not being used. So Jason's like, okay, sounds like a plan. Alright, so then the Housekiss spent much of the day in or around the pool. A lot of them talking a lot of crap about Kevin. It got quite nasty, especially with Alex, Paul, and Christmas. They just can't freaking stop. It's so gross. So Alex is like, Kevin thinks that he's going to be like the ultimate winner of Big Brother and never be nominated, just like Derek from season 16. How does she not realize that Paul's game is way closer to Derek's than Kevin's? It just doesn't make sense. I could have sworn Alex was saying too that Derek just like floated through his season. Were we watching the same season? Because he was a freaking puppet master, okay? Whatever. So then Jason and Josh were chatting in the have-not room, or sorry, the HOH room. I can't read. They were talking about Kevin, of course. So Jason was like, is there any way that we can get Kevin back? He says he's been trying to talk to Kevin subtly about like doing something in the game to contribute to the group so he's not just being dragged along. And he's saying to Josh, like, is it really that big of a deal right now? Can't we just get Kevin out next week or the week after that? Like, why do people want to do it this week? So Josh is like, well, I don't feel like Kevin trusts me, and why would he? And he doesn't understand why Kevin was getting involved with Cody and Mark before they were evicted. He said it's sketchy, you know, people don't like it. So Jason's saying, I don't want to clip Kevin until after Matt and Raven are gone, because Kevin's nice to me, you know? Why would I want to take him out when I can keep him around and get rid of people who are my enemies? Lucy is on the treadmill right now. So Josh is like, well, Kevin's rubbing a lot of people the wrong way. We don't like him. So then Josh brings up jury votes, and he's saying, do you really want to piss off 2 potential jury votes in Matt and Raven by leaving the nominations the same? Because they're definitely going to vote together, so you could potentially lose both of those. So Josh is like, I promise you I will vote out Matt if you put Kevin up as Raven's replacement. No freaking way! If Kevin hits that block, he is out. So Jason's like, I don't know, I'm worried that people are going to vote Kevin out if I do that. He wants to keep nominations the same. So then Alex joins them. They're talking more crap about Kevin. They're speculating about his family, if they even exist. So then Josh is like trying to stick up for Kevin. He's saying, from what I've heard him say about his family, I think he's a great father. He thinks that he's really caring. And he doesn't want people bringing family into this game at all. You know, last night when he was saying this, I was like, wow, Josh is really growing up. This is great. We're seeing this happen before our eyes. But just you wait, Alexander Hamilton. Josh still sucks. We'll get there. So then Alex and Josh were chatting alone, and Alex is starting to think, like, maybe we should get rid of Raven this week. You know, they've been saying Matt all along, but now they're like, maybe Raven is the better choice, because she feels like Matt has already checked out at this point. He doesn't freaking care. He's been checked out since they hit the jury, and he was already half checked out before that. So she's like, it'll be easy to take him out, and Raven's gonna be a pain in the ass. She's gonna be a nightmare, so maybe we just get rid of her. So Josh agrees. He's like, yeah, Raven's gonna make it freaking hell when Jason doesn't use that veto. So he's like, I'm down for whatever you guys want to do. Just let me know. They agree that they're gonna get the 5 together to talk about it. So I guess they mean Christmas, Josh, Paul, Alex, and Jason. So their plan is like, well, we'll just tell Maven that we're voting Matt out, but then we'll vote out Raven at the last second. Ugh. Alright, so then last night, Matt and Raven had some weird ass food fight in the kitchen. Are you shit, Mike? I'm so tired of this shit. So she's throwing cinnamon at him. He retaliates by pouring milk on her. And there's this back and forth with the cinnamon and the milk. It's getting everywhere. It's disgusting. And then Matt was talking about Raven waking up at 4 a.m. to Matt rubbing a wiener all over her. And he meant a hot dog, but considering what we've seen on the feeds with the lights off, he could have been talking about himself. Seriously, what the F? Even Big Brother was like, zing, over the loudspeakers. Yeah, so she gets really mad when Matt starts calling her Cody's sister. And she's just like, oh my god, Matthew Kleins, or whatever. So they are throwing their shit at each other still. They're making a freaking mess. There was a huge brown cloud of cinnamon in the air, filling people's lungs. And this shit went on for way too long. People kept walking in the room, seeing what was going on, seeing the mess, and being like, what the fuck? So they were not happy about it. This was like some sort of freaking weird mating ritual that these two, I guarantee they're gonna bang after this. It was a mess, and it's really annoying. So also, like, I would not trust their cleanup after this disaster, because Matt was using the same towel to clean the floor and then clean the counter after that. Disgusting. Okay, so anyway, I don't know how these people live in there. So then Paul and Raven were having a game chat last night, and Raven is still under the impression that Jason is going to use the veto on her, and then they're going to send Kevin out. Because they've all still been feeding that to her, even though everyone except for Matt and Raven knows that Jason is planning on keeping the nominations the same. So they want Jason to take all the heat for this. They keep building up Matt and Raven like they're not going home this week. So Paul's like, worst case scenario, Jason doesn't use the veto because Kevin did some stupid shit and got in his ear. So Raven's like, oh, I will lose my shit if Jason does not use the veto. Okay, so then Paul is moving on to phase 2 of this conversation. Okay, he's already convinced Raven, like, yeah, you guys are gonna be fine. So now he's like, for next week, the two of us are the strongest mental competitors left. So, I mean, Paul, yeah, but Miss Mensa? What? Okay, so he's like, we should throw the next HOH competition to either Josh or Christmas because they have the same plan that we do. You know, they want to take out either Jason or Alex next week. So we let them do that, and then we'll be able to compete in the next HOH. And Raven's just like, yeah, I'm on board. Ugh. It's just like too easy for Paul. I just can't believe it. So then Paul checks in with Alex and Jason in the HOH room, and Paul is like, listen up. I want Matt to go this week before Raven, because at this point there was still some debate who was going to go. So he's like, I think we'll be able to calm Raven down. It's not going to be that bad, and we'll be able to pull her in. He just had this conversation with Raven where he convinced her like this to throw the HOH competition. So yeah, he wants to keep her around because he knows that he can control her. So he's like, none of us really have a connection with Matt. He's a wild card. We don't know what he would do if he stuck around in one HOH. So, of course, Jason and Alex agree, yes, let's get rid of Matt. Alright, so then Matt and Raven had a little game chat in the Rose bedroom, and they're not even going to talk to Jason about the veto before the ceremony. They trust that he will use it on Raven because Paul told them that. So they're like, you know what? Paul said that this is going to happen, so we don't even need to bother talking to Jason. And Raven again says there will be a show if he does not use the veto on her. So then they move their discussion to the hammock, and Raven tells Matt about the plan to throw HOH to Josh or Christmas. I don't think you need to worry about Matt throwing competition. Matt's like, okay, sounds good. I mean, he also doesn't realize he might not be there. But Raven is saying, I think that we should get rid of Alex before Jason next week because she is smarter, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So then Matt is saying, like, wow, if it's 5 versus 1 in next week's HOH competition and we don't win, we don't deserve anything. You think? You still don't deserve anything. Alright, so then today, guys, just wait, because today was ridiculous. So, this morning, Raven was alone in the kitchen with Jason. She had time to just be like, hey, we're good, right? Like, you're gonna use the veto on me, everything's going according to plan. But did she ask about that veto? No. She was just talking to him about Kevin, they're bashing him, whatever. So then it's time for the veto ceremony, and when the feeds come back, it is going down, okay? It is very clear, very quickly, that Jason did not use the veto, and either Matt or Raven will be leaving on Thursday. Because when the feeds came back, Raven was in tears, and I mean like angry tears. Her face was like, ah! But interestingly, I don't know, maybe she just didn't put her mascara on today because she didn't have like the going on that we usually see. So she's yelling about Jason being counterfeit because that's like Jason's one of his catchphrases this season. And at the time, Jason was in the storage room with Paul and Alex. And he's like, you know what? I stand by my decision. This would have been even worse if I had put Kevin up because I am closer to him. So like, he's saying whatever. This is how it is. So then Alex is like, okay, well, I'm going to pretend that I didn't know that you were going to do this. Everyone will think we're fighting. It's going to be great. So then Raven busts in and she's yelling at Jason. And she's like, are you kidding me? Don't have a conversation with me and then lie to me later. Don't piss on me and tell me it's raining. So then she leaves the storage room. And Matt and Raven are outside. She's freaking yelling her brains out. She's like, are you shitting me? And no, I'm not just saying that for fun. Like, she actually said that a million times today. So they're calling Jason a little bitch for hiding in the storage room. And they're saying he's not a man. Okay, so anyway, Paul comes outside for damage control. He's trying to calm Raven down a bit because he knows when they start fighting, the words are going to start flying out, and he wouldn't want any of his secrets to come out with the whole house watching, right? So he's got to be careful here. Try to guide Raven with what she's going to be saying. Make sure she doesn't get too crazy. So then, the whole house assembles in the kitchen as Matt and Raven start screeching at Jason. And yes, I mean screeching, because we've already heard what Raven sounds like when she's yelling. But today, we were introduced to Matt's yelling. And it was a lot, okay? It was a lot. Obviously, this is the most that we've heard from him ever. We thought that him during the HOH competition, yelling at Alex and Jason was a lot, but okay. So Maven are just repeating the same points over and over again. Everybody else is silent as Jason is taking all this heat. Jason is staying calm throughout this whole thing. I think it's kind of funny that Raven's accent disappears when she's angry, because isn't it usually the other way around? People's accents get stronger when they're angry because they're not like thinking about how they're talking. Does that mean she's faking her accent when she's talking? I think so. But anyway, let's talk about some of the main points here. Raven's all, you whispered in my ear that you would use the veto on me or one of us if you won. Apparently, Jason did that after the nomination ceremony. I remember Raven saying that. Now, clearly we have not seen this yet because it hasn't aired on the show and the feeds were down for that. But Jason is denying it. He's saying, I don't remember saying that. I have a feeling he probably did. But anyway, she's also saying, you talked crap about Kevin to me this morning. You didn't have to do that if you knew you weren't going to use the veto. Like, what's the point of that? And she's also bringing up Jason's nomination speech when he said that he was just following the House agenda. And Raven's like, well, it looks like you aren't following the House agenda. But he actually is, because the House agenda this week was to get rid of Matt. But she doesn't know that. So those were like her main points that she kept going on over and over. And then Matt was calling Jason a bitch and a pussy for hiding in a storage room. Okay, and he's bringing up like core values. He kept saying like, follow your core values. But he was saying, follow your core values. He does this like weird high-pitched thing when he starts yelling. He's saying, come to me like a man. And he said, strap on your balls, uncross your legs, and be a man. Okay, I feel like there's a lot of like sexist undertones here, and I really don't appreciate that because it's really annoying. Like, why does that mean he's not a man? Like, ugh. Are you trying to say that like women can't handle situations? I don't like it. But anyway, Matt is claiming also that Jason he was hiding in the storage room after the veto ceremony. And he keeps bringing that up. He's like, you were in there for 15 minutes. You were in there for 20 minutes hiding. And then Jason is like, yeah, so neither of you guys came to talk to me about using the veto this week. What the hell? Bingo, not once did they talk to him about the veto. He's like, that's one of the most insulting things. When somebody has something you want, and even that won't make them talk to you. Even that. So he is also saying, why would you think that Kevin would be the target over you? You never talked to me. Why would you be more valuable to my game than somebody who I actually spend time with? So then Matt and Raven are like, oh, we never said that we deserve to be here more than anybody else, blah, blah, blah. So then Maven they keep repeating that Jason whispered in Raven's ear. And they're saying it's shitty that you talked about Kevin all week, blah, blah, blah. And Jason's like, you know what? I'm not going to let you guys rile me up because I can tell that's what you're trying to do. You want to try and get a reaction out of me. So he's staying calm. Nobody else is saying anything. Finally, Alex is like, Jason wasn't hiding. He was talking to me in the storage room. And Matt's just like, no, I'm talking to Jason right now. So he's freaking brushing her off. And then Alex is saying, Kevin's still my target. I hate him. He can go. At this point, Kevin is outside walking the yard by himself, which is like so sad. But anyway, Alex wants it to be known that Kevin is her target, and she had no part in this. Alright, so then Matt is listing off all the things that he's done for the group. He says that he volunteered to be a pawn 3 times. He threw a safety competition for them. And this matters because, do you think that gets you a free pass to the end? Okay. So then the room goes completely silent after this. It was like a very, anybody want cake kind of moment, but apparently nobody wanted cake because that didn't happen. So then Kevin walks in. It's still completely silent. He sits down at the dining table The silence continues. So eventually Paul is trying to break the tension. He's like, hey Matt, give Cody my regards and jury. And then Matt is like, yeah, I will go to jury because I'm going to be eating this week and I'm going to be sleeping in a real bed and taking hot showers. And I'm going to get those penalty votes so that Raven stays. Whoop-de-doo, you're so cool for going against the have-not rules. I'm sorry, I think that's really freaking lame. So there's more silence, and then it's time for round 2. So Matt brings up the votes against him last week. Remember, they were Jason and Alex. And Matt's like, all right, so I want to know, were the 2 votes against me Kevin and Jason? And Kevin freaking serves! Oh my god. It was amazing, because Kevin has put up with so much shit and kept his mouth shut in this game, and now he was like, I voted out Mark, mother effer. And he's saying, like, why don't you ask everybody else the same question? Like, don't just ask me. And he's saying, if you want to see the truth, go back and watch the show after you get out of here because I voted out Mark. So he's freaking pissed. So then Matt goes around asking everybody who they voted out. Some lie, Alex. And then he gets to Jason, and Jason does not give a yes or no answer, which is what Matt is expecting. He starts saying like, blah, 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 and Matt explodes out of his chair. He was like, I thought he was gonna fall out of his chair. But he kept doing those reactions throughout this whole thing. He was like, it was crazy. So yeah, he's just like, why can't you just say yes or no, blah, blah, blah. So Jason's like, I will tell you when you calm down. So then a few minutes later, Jason does say like, yes, I voted for you to go to stir the pot. So Matt's like, so you lied? And then Jason is like, honestly, I thought Raven was the second vote. Now, okay, context here. Obviously, he knows that it was Alex. He's covering for her. Alex, not a peep from her. You think she's gonna stick up for her ride or die? Nope. So then Raven is like, why would I vote for my ride or die? And then, I kid you not, she says, I swear on my pacemaker, which I need to live, that I did not vote for Matthew. Oh my god, she did not just say that. Moving on. Raven starts crying again. She's saying, I'd rather go to the jury knowing that I am a loyal game player and not a buyer. Raven, they just had a segment on last night's show about what a freaking liar you are. But okay, so then Matt leaves. He goes outside to be by himself. Would you say he was hiding outside? I don't know. But things settle down. Paul starts asking people if they've smoked hookah before. And then Raven gets called to the diary room. So she's out of the kitchen, and Jason's like, well, that could have gone better. So he's saying that he didn't want to go off on them because that's what Matt wanted. That's what Matt was trying to make happen, and he wasn't going to do it. But he feels like he could have answered some of the questions better, but you know how Jason gets when he's confronted. So everybody's telling him, like, no, you did a great job. Paul's saying, don't worry about jury votes. I called a girl a C last season. She still voted for me. What up, Big Meech? All right, so then Raven, a little while later, was in the backyard with Christmas and Matt. Can you believe? She believes that Alex had no idea that Jason wasn't going to use the veto. Now, I gotta say, are you shitting me? Do you guys remember when everybody was freaking out on Jessica because they thought she knew that Cody was going to go after Christmas and then Paul with the replacement nominee? And Jessica actually did not know that Cody was going to do that? Okay, so now Raven is claiming that Alex did not know that this was going to happen. So, okay, in week 1, when people didn't really know each other that well, they're saying Jessica absolutely had to know. But now, we're almost done with this game, basically. We have less than a month to go. Alex and Jason are like this, and Raven doesn't believe Alex knew. My head's gonna explode. So anyway, Christmas is like freaking trying to pull in Matt and Raven. She wants to make sure that Raven is gonna be on their side next week. Meanwhile, you've got Paul in the kitchen with Josh, Alex, and Jason trying to keep the heat on Kevin. This is exactly what he's done all season. He sees that somebody's messed up once it's like for sure that that person's going, he immediately gets everybody to gang up on this one person. So like he's already been shitting on Kevin for like a few weeks now, but he's like really cranking it up here. It's time to freaking get Josh to blow up on Kevin. So, Paul and Alex were really pushing for Josh to go off on Kevin last week, and Josh was like, no, I don't want to do that. I respect Kevin. But now they're pushing it again, and Josh is getting really close to that point. So Paul's saying, just blame everything on Kevin. It's fine. Obviously, that's working. So Paul is saying Kevin is just working for jury votes right now. He got close to Cody before he left. He got close to Mark before he left. And now he's probably going to get close to Matt before he leaves. So then Josh is getting fired up. He's saying that Kevin is a 56-year-old coward. He talks shit about everybody behind their backs. This is Big Brother. Are you trying to tell me you have not talked shit about everybody else? Because that's what you do on this show. So then they start speculating about his family again. They're like, does he even have a wife and kids? Shut the F up. Okay, so then Kevin walks in. He's wearing the HOH slippers. And Alex is like, Kevin, the shuffling is driving me nuts. You sound like an old man. Stop it. Okay, so then Kevin's like, I'm sorry, they just make that sound, I can't help it, I can't walk like this, like all weird. He's doing like some freaking Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks thing, and he's like, it makes my knee crack, I can't do it. So then Paul is riling Josh up some more. This is a little while later. He's saying that Kevin told Jason that Josh is not that smart, because earlier Kevin and Jason were chatting one-on-one. He saw that Josh was coming up to interrupt them, and he's just like, who the hell is sending Josh up here to interrupt us? Because I know that he would not think of doing that himself. He's not that smart. So then Josh is like, I can't believe you said that, blah, blah, blah. He's getting ready to call Kevin out. Great. After all week, he was saying, oh, I'm not going to do that. I respect him. All right. So this house is freaking falling to hell again. Matt is eating Triscuits and drinking soda. As have not. He says the diary room tried to talk him out of it, and he was like, no, I'm gonna do it. So then it's time for another fight. The A-hole squad is back to gang up on one person. So before it gets started, Paul and Josh are freaking dancing around like idiots in the storage room as they hear Christmas yelling at Kevin in the kitchen. We missed the beginning of that, but they were also celebrating because Paul let Josh know that Alex has agreed to throw the HOH to them next week. She's a freaking idiot if she actually does that, because the plan is to go after Jason and Alex. Oh my god. Okay, I almost wish it'll happen just so that they can feel that. So then Christmas is pissed in the kitchen that Kevin asked her if she was going in the pool. I'm not kidding. That's what set her off. So she is like, why would you ask me that? Ah! So Kevin's like, I meant, were you going to sit on the side of the pool? Because that's something you've done before. And Christmas is like, you ask me questions that you already know the answer to, and I'm sick of it. She says, I've had an effing broken foot all summer. I can't go swimming. So Kevin's like, why are you making such a big deal out of this? I don't know why you're yelling at me. You asked me first if I was going swimming, and then I was like, are you going to come out and sit by the pool? So then Josh jumps in, and he's like, don't lie. You asked her first. I was sitting right here. And then Christmas is like, no, I did ask Kevin first. And Kevin's just like, okay, Josh, time to apologize. Like, you just heard that you were wrong. You better freaking apologize to me. So Josh is like, don't yell at me and get rowdy with me. You don't want to go there. So Christmas is like, Kevin, say what you mean. Don't mean what you say. Don't imply things. Oh my god, it was so effing ridiculous. I cannot believe this is what it has come to. So anyway, this whole thing could have been done, you know, but Josh keeps poking. He's telling Kevin, I don't want to fight, but bullshit. Anytime Josh says that, it's bullshit. So Kevin is like, you know what, Josh? Don't let everybody else set you up to argue with me. Kevin knows what's going on here. Kevin has been in on those conversations when they have been egging Josh on to blow up at people. He knows exactly what's happening here. And Josh is just like, I'm onto your shit. You think that I'm the stupid, goofy one. And Kevin's like, I'm not the one who's been saying that. Everybody else has been saying that about you. Don't make things up. I think Kevin said that a few times. But he's like, I don't talk about you. Don't flatter yourself. So then Josh starts calling Kevin a liar, and things are getting really heated at this point. They are freaking yelling at each other. And then Josh is like, oh, Kevin, who won the 25K? And Kevin's like, you did. You told me you did on the first day. Nope, but it was pretty freaking funny. So Josh is like, swear on your kids that you didn't win it. Kevin is pissed. He's like, don't you bring my effing kids into this mother effer. So then, fish really quick. Then the feeds come back. Josh keeps calling Kevin a liar. And Kevin is telling him, shut your damn mouth. You're gonna be in the DI pouting in a few minutes if you keep this up. So then, oh, it gets really bad, guys. Kevin is like, say something else about one of my family members. And then Josh starts talking. Kevin picks up a glass full of water off the counter and he freaking pulls it back like he's gonna throw it at Josh. And then the feeds cut the feeds. And then they don't come back for like an hour. We get to see beautiful shelter babies for a while. I hope that all those beautiful babies are getting adopted into loving, wonderful homes. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, but as far as I know, nobody got kicked out. So I think the house guests probably got a very stern talking to from the producers. That's just what I'm thinking. I think that's why the feeds were down, but it got really ugly. Okay, this is where we are right now, so a lot going on, and it makes me sad that we're watching this bullshit with like all of the awfulness that's going on with the hurricane in Texas. Like, seriously, prayers to everybody in Texas. If you're watching this from Texas, we all love you. We're all thinking about you. Yeah, so anyway, that's where we are. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and till tomorrow, much love.